Okay, guys, it's Dr. Myers. You're gonna see the screen go blank for a quick second, and then I'm gonna come on live on the camera. So give it 1 second. You're gonna see the screen go blank, and then you'll actually see me. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Myers. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see me. Let me know in the comments if you can. Seeing so many people from literally around the world. This is so exciting. We had nearly 19,000 people register for this event. So do you know what that tells me? It tells me that there are so many of you that are struggling and who have likely been failed by conventional medicine, just like I was. For those of you who are not familiar with me, I was failed by conventional medicine, and it is my mission to not have it fail you too, which is why we're here today. Please say hello in the comments. There's so many of you so far. Faith, she can hear me and see me. Awesome. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Betty. Hi, Iris. We have literally I've seen people coming in from India, from Greece, from Turkey, from Colorado. So this is from Mozambique. You can't see it, but I have goosebumps. This is so, so amazing. So welcome everybody. This is gonna be fairly interactive today. I'll have some times where I'll be asking you questions. And at the very end of this, you'll get to ask me all the questions that you want to ask me. So hang tight, save your questions for the end, and my team will write them down for me, and I will answer your questions live at the very end of this. Real quick before we get started, I just wanted you guys to know a tiny bit about me, which, as I've already mentioned, conventional medicine failed me, and it's my mission to not have it fail you too. It is why I'm here today and why I am so, so passionate about, helping you guys as well. My second year of medical school, I started having weight loss, insomnia, tremors, and even panic attacks. I went to my doctor. You know what they told me? That it was just stress, medical school stress. And that it was all in my head. It was so, so frustrating. And I wonder how many of you guys have been in that exact same boat where you went to your doctor knowing something's wrong with you and they told you that it was stress or that it was all in your head, or maybe even that you began to think you were kind of crazy after you'd been to so many different doctors. Well, I'm here to let you know that there's a whole nother way, and that most of whatever you're dealing with is likely not in your head, and that there's one simple root cause that we'll get to today, and I'll tell you how to solve it as well. But after my doctor told me that I was just stressed out and she completely dismissed me, you know what? I got a call back telling me, no, actually, I had an autoimmune condition called Graves' disease. And then I was offered 3 terrible options of harsh medications, radioactive iodine, or surgery. Nobody was ever looking at the root cause. Nobody wanted to actually try to solve my problem. So since that time, I've worked with thousands upon thousands of patients and helped them reverse their conditions, including autoimmunity to Candida to brain fog, digestive issues, you name it. I have helped people from literally around the world get to the root cause of their illness and then reverse it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I welcome you all. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get started. Okay, the screen's going to go blank for a quick second while I get to the PowerPoint presentation. Hang tight. Okay, gang, sorry about that. Took just a second to pull it up. All right, so let's get into it today. I think all of you all are here to figure out how you can beat Candida for good in 3 easy steps. So let's get started. So the biggest thing that I want you to know is that I have a secret that in conventional medicine is keeping it from you. And that is that it is not all in your head. I want you to know you're not alone. Again, we have over 3,500 people here right now, over 19,000 that registered for this webinar. You're clearly not alone. There are hundreds and thousands of people who are suffering out there and just being dismissed by conventional medicine. And, I just mentioned it. I know what it's like to know that there's something wrong and your doctor to completely dismiss you, tell you it's all in your head and not to believe you. So I want you to know that the brain fog, the rashes, the digestive issues, the mood swings, chronic fatigue, and even depression likely are all related, and it all goes back to one treatable gut infection. And I'm going to show you today exactly how you can be yeast for good in just 30 days. I've helped thousands of people around the world deal with this gut infection and get rid of it for good, giving them more energy, clearer thinking, their brain firing all cylinders, no more rashes, digestive issues. And we're going to go through exactly how to do that. I have a proven, effective, and most importantly, natural way that you'll learn about today, 3 easy steps to beat your yeast for good. So you might be wondering, and you can tell me over in the comments, what are you struggling with? I really like to know what each of you is struggling with out there, because I'm here to serve you. Over the next hour, I want to be of service to you, and I want to provide value for you. You might be a lot of things that a lot of people told us as they were signing up for this event, and what they checked off as why they wanted to attend the event was brain fog, gas and bloating, itchy, red, dry skin, recurring yeast infections. So yeah, Dolly's telling me her doctors don't listen to her here. We have somebody with Sjogren's, rashes. Jenny has psoriasis. Susan has brain fog. We have Robin, Valerie with bloating. Sorry, these are coming in so quickly. Lucy with rosacea. Guys, y'all are in the right place. So if you're experiencing any of the symptoms that I read off that the attendees are struggling with, or the ones here on this list, you are in the right place. I'd also like to know, maybe you're feeling embarrassed by your symptoms or ignored by your doctor. Several people have already mentioned that. I was ignored by my doctor. Maybe you're feeling tired all the time, in pain. I want you to know, if you're feeling this way, you're in the right place today. And sometimes you might be wondering, what's wrong with me? Or you might even begin to think like I did when I went to my doctor and they told me it was stress, and you're dealing with these night sweats and insomnia and a tremor and panic attacks that I'd never had before in my life, that I started to maybe think, is this all in my head? Am I, going crazy? Is this just medical school stress? I want you guys to know it's not. It's likely not all in your head. It likely goes back to one very treatable gut infection, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I want you to know you can absolutely have your life back. I'm going to show you exactly how to beat Candida for good in 3 easy steps. And at the end, I want to know if I have some additional information that I'd like to share with you where you can learn more if you want to about continuing to beat yeast. Let me know in the comment section if you're okay with me sharing some additional information with you at the end of this presentation. So it looks like so far, yep, everybody's saying yep, they don't mind me sharing some information. So I really appreciate that. Poor Marilyn says she's been hit by a truck. I'm so sorry. We're going to get you feeling better, Marilyn. Don't you worry. All right, so over the next 45 minutes or so, what I want you to do is to be very present. So if you could, turn off your cell phone, put it on silence, close out your email if you're sitting at your desk, or if you're at a computer, shut off Facebook, let your family know not to disturb you for the next hour. You're welcome to take notes on this presentation, take all the notes you'd like. And most importantly, I'd like you to come with an open mind, because what I'm going to be telling you today may be very contradictory to what your doctor is telling you. It might be new information for you. For some, you might have heard some, and for others, it might be repeat. But please come with an open mind. That's the most important thing. Now, if you stay till the end of this presentation, not only will I be answering questions live, I'd also like you to know that we will be sending out 5 irresistible smoothies to beat sugar cravings. These are amazing recipes. My favorite is the chocolate cherry kiss. They're decadent, rich, and will keep you satiated. So stay tuned till the end, and I'll answer your question live if you have one, as well as you'll get this free bonus material. All right, let's get started. You might be wondering, why am I doing this? Well, I've already mentioned from the get-go that conventional medicine failed me, so it is my mission to not have it fail you too. And after working with very complex patients from all over the world for the last decade, rarely have I seen anybody in my clinic that is not suffering with Candida overgrowth. It is typically an underlying issue for so many people that I see, particularly those people out there who've already written in and said that they have autoimmune conditions. And I'm going to explain that Candida leaky gut autoimmune connection here in this presentation. Now, when I was diagnosed with Graves, I myself had Candida overgrowth. So I have been in your shoes before. And I'm doing this because after being personally frustrated by my own doctor and now being a physician and having people come into my clinic every day with their frustrations of going from doctor to doctor, not given answers. They're not looking for the root cause and simply giving drugs that sometimes have worse outcomes than the symptom that they went in complaining of. So, and in my clinic, this is something that is one of the biggest magic bullets that I have. When I treat people for Candida, they literally tell me it is like a light bulb that goes off in their brain and their life is transformed. So that's why I'm here today, because I know if you're out there and 19,000 people signed up for this, that there are a lot of people unnecessarily suffering. And the good news is it's extremely treatable, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. Now, why do other doctors get this so wrong? I mean, the first is, many of the symptoms with Candida are very vague. Fatigue, brain fog, moodiness, irritable bowel symptoms, maybe a nail fungus that they think is just in your nail and they're not looking deeper to see is that a little bit more systemic for you. So doctors kind of glaze over when you go in with this whole list of symptoms that just, seemingly has no answer to it and don't seem related at all. I mean, I know I was actually an emergency medicine physician before I became a functional medicine physician, and people would come in with stuff like this, and I really didn't know what to do with it. But now, of course, being a functional medicine doctor, I know exactly what to do. So, many doctors just don't even believe that Candida overgrowth, the way that I'll be talking about it today, even exists. They really only know about systemic candidiasis, which is a life-threatening blood condition, which is not at all what we're talking about today. And of course, they never think these things are interconnected. When you have a yeast infection, a vaginal yeast infection, or a nail fungus or dandruff, they never think that maybe it can actually be a deeper issue of Candida overgrowth in your gut. So as I mentioned, I don't miss Candida overgrowth because I've been trained not only in conventional medicine, but also as a functional medicine physician. So functional medicine, if you're new to the concept, we seek to get to the root cause of issues so that you can overcome them rather than just treating your condition with pills. We look to connect the dots and find the big picture and treat everybody as an individual rather than, as this mass that, here you need this pill. So I've found that time and time again, Candida is often the root cause of a whole host of other symptoms that other doctors typically really can't have an explanation for. So since I finished medical school, I went on to complete my residency in emergency medicine. I became an attending ER physician at the Children's and Adult Trauma Center here in Austin. And then I completed all my training through the Institute for Functional Medicine. And I eventually opened my clinic in Austin, Texas, where I've had for over a decade and have literally helped thousands of people from around the world reverse chronic conditions and many of the symptoms that you all are writing in about today. Since that time, I've written 2 New York Times bestsellers, The Autoimmune Solution and The Thyroid Connection. And my latest book, The Autoimmune Solution Cookbook, is a complete resource of how to live the Myers Way for life. It's packed with 150 delicious recipes and lifestyle tips for the whole family. In addition, I've hosted the nationally televised PBS show, The 28-Day Metabolism Makeover, How to Jumpstart Your Sluggish Metabolism in Just 28 Days. I've also been featured on the Dr. Oz Show over 7 times and appeared in lots of national magazines. But my true mission is to help people just like you who are dealing with symptoms that conventional medicine is just brushing off. The brain fog, the digestive issues, the depression, the fatigue, the weight gain, the fibromyalgia, the autoimmunity, and the thyroid conditions. So I'd love to share a story with you that I really think is going to hit home for you. And that is a story of Anna. Now, Anna gave me my permission to speak to you about her today. And Anna was a patient of mine. And when Anna came to see me, she had this whole laundry list of symptoms that seemingly looked very unrelated. Anna was 35 when she came to see me. She was a stay-at-home mom of 2 small children, Evan, who was 5, and Josie, who was 2. Now, she was supposed to be in the prime of her life and happy. She had literally the life she had dreamed of. She married her college sweetheart. She had 2 beautiful children. They were healthy. And she was fortunate enough to be able to stay home and didn't have to work. But after Josie was born just 2 years ago, brain fog had set in for her. She felt like she was under a cloud all the time. She'd forget where she put her car keys, forget things on her grocery list after she was already at the grocery store. She was exhausted. She'd fall asleep while her kids were napping, and she couldn't even get through her to-do list because she didn't have the energy. She lost her spunky drive, and she'd lost her sex drive. Some acne that she'd been dealing with most all of her life, she thought was going to get better after she was pregnant, but it actually got worse. And then she had these sugar cravings that were causing her to eat more sugar, and the weight was not coming off. After Evan was born, she'd lost all her baby weight within a few months, but after Josie, she was still struggling with the last 15 pounds. And she was feeling guilty, like she had no willpower over this sugar and carb cravings. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that today, how this is not a matter of willpower. This is literally the yeast causing you to eat more sugar and carbs. So it's not your fault. And we're going to go over that today. She had bloating that was constant and uncomfortable. She had a hard time buttoning her jeans. And she was depressed because she was 35, supposed to be in the prime of her life. She didn't have a sex drive. She was tired all the time. And she felt like a sick person just going from doctor to doctor. And you know what, guys? I wish I could tell you that Anna's story was unique, but I hear stories like this every day. And many of you tell me in the comments, is this something that kind of sounds like you? Just doctor to doctor? And then we'll go over what her doctors actually did for her, which I'm sure will really ring true for many of you. She, of course, went to her primary care doctor, like probably many of you did as well, and just like I did. And what did they do for her? They gave her antibiotics and birth control pills for her acne, wanted her to exercise more and go on a low-fat diet. They gave her over-the-counter gas pills for the bloating and prescribed an antidepressant for her depression, which, of course, she didn't take. So Trusty's saying that's identical to her. Valerie's saying sounds familiar. Let's see. Carrie gave up on doctors. Well, don't give up on all doctors. Marissa said she's been to so many doctors. Shannon, yes, and they don't do anything. So it sounds like, guys, I literally, you can't see me, but I have goosebumps from head to toe. I've been there. I hear it every day. It doesn't have to be this way. And I'm going to help you not have it be this way any longer. So conventional medicine is failing so many of us. They're just throwing prescriptions at us. But let me tell you what I did for Anna. So as a functional medicine physician, the number one thing I do is I listen to patients. And when I listened to this long list of symptoms that, sounded to me like it actually could be related, I knew likely it was. So let's talk about that long list of symptoms and see how all these things actually were related. So what I heard in Anna's history was that she had been born by a C-section. She was formula fed, had lots of ear infections as a child. She grew up eating a standard American diet. She'd been on birth control pills and antibiotics for her acne. And then she'd been pregnant twice. So I'm going to tell you how all that fits into that one simple gut infection. So for me, when I heard all of those things, and if you've read either of my books, The Autoimmune Solution or The Thyroid Connection, you'll probably hear in that book many stories very similar to this, because I hear this story all the time. And many of you might have had the same story yourself. She was born by a C-section. So Anna missed out on getting all her good bacteria when she would have gone through her mother's vaginal birth canal to be born. She missed out on that. Then she was formula fed. So she missed out on the good bacteria in breast milk, plus also the prebiotics in breast milk to help feed her microbiome. She was given antibiotics for acne, which wiped out whatever good bacteria she had and can lead to Candida overgrowth. Then she was put on birth control for acne, and birth control, I'll show you, has high estrogens, and high estrogens can lead to Candida overgrowth. She had 2 back-to-back pregnancies, which again was a high estrogen state, so more Candida overgrowth. And then the Candida causing her to crave more sugar, eat more carbs, eat more sugar, and weight gain. And then I'll talk to you as I go through the presentation how all this actually relates to the depression she was experiencing as well. So again, we can see that all of Anna's laundry list of seemingly unrelated symptoms really were from one treatable gut infection, and that is Candida overgrowth. So today we're going to be talking about what is Candida overgrowth, 4 ways Candida gets out of control, how Candida wreaks havoc on your whole body, the Candida leaky gut autoimmune connection, and how to beat Candida in 3 easy steps. So I know y'all will want to stick around for that part. And don't forget, you get to ask me your live questions right after this as well. All right, so let's get started. What exactly is Candida? Well, there are many types of yeast. Candida is the most common form. So you might hear me say throughout this presentation interchangeably Candida or yeast overgrowth. Or maybe some of you all have had some testing done and you know that you have a type of yeast but it's not Candida. So everything that I'm talking to you about today will work for any type of yeast that you've been diagnosed with or that we're referring to. So Candida, we all have a little bit of it. It lives in our digestive tract and it's there to help us digest and absorb our food. And again, we all have a little of it, but it's when it gets out of control that it becomes a problem. So let's talk about the importance of gut health. We now know that there are more cells in us and on us than there are of our entire own cells. And the future of medicine is really going to look at our gut microbiome. So there are trillions of microbes in us and on us. And nearly 80% of our immune system sits in our gut. So if you're familiar with me, you know I say the gut is the gateway to health. And if you're dealing with an autoimmune condition, we definitely need to be looking at the gut. So it's rare that I see a patient in my clinic that doesn't have some sort of gut imbalance. In fact, you can have gut imbalances going on and have absolutely no digestive issues whatsoever. It could be manifesting as your brain fog, as your itchy rash, as your fatigue, and I'm going to show you how that can be here in this presentation. So I like to think of as our gut microbiome like a rainforest. It's in a delicate balance of good bacteria, bad bacteria, viruses, yeast, even some parasites. But when that microbiome or when that rainforest gets disrupted and something gets out of balance, then the bad guys, i.e. the yeast, can take over. And that's when it becomes a real problem. What happens then is the yeast overgrows and it suppresses the good bacteria, and you have less good bacteria, you have more yeast overgrowth that weakens the immune system, and then the Candida can multiply unchecked. And this slide might look familiar to you, okay? You could have symptoms literally ranging from brain fog to toe fungus to digestive issues to diabetes, and these could be seemingly unrelated symptoms, but they really go back to one treatable, one gut infection. So let's talk about 4 ways that Candida can actually get out of control. So the first, I already mentioned it, and that is a picture of me and my beautiful daughter, Elle, who is now a bit older than that picture, but childbirth and how we're born. So I mentioned it. Remember, Anna did not go through the birth canal. She was a C-section baby. So when we're in our mom's womb, the thought is that the gut is actually sterile. When you go through the birth canal, the baby takes a big gulp and it inoculates the baby's digestive tract with the mother's microbiome. So if you don't go through the vaginal canal and you're born C-section, you're going to miss out on that. Then again, if you're formula fed, you're missing out on the probiotics and the prebiotics that would then go in and also help to feed that microbiome. And then many children get ear infections. Most are viral, but doctors often will give antibiotics, and that will wipe out the good bacteria. In addition, when you're formula fed, that can, for some people, if you have a dairy issue, lead to these ear infections. Now, my daughter actually was born by a C-section, but we were fortunate enough to do something called seeding, where we took the vaginal flora and wiped her down as soon as she was born. And there are many studies coming out now showing that this is about as equal as going through the birth canal. So certainly if you're anybody who's pregnant, thinking about getting pregnant, planning to have a C-section, inadvertently has a C-section, an emergency one, that's something you could talk to your doctor about. Number 2 is our diet. Now this is a catch-22. When we have sugar, then we are more predisposed to feed Candida and develop Candida overgrowth. Then the Candida, like I mentioned, with Anna needs to be fed, so it's going to cause you to crave more sugar. So it's like a gerbil on the wheel or a catch-22. You crave more sugar, you eat more sugar, the Candida grows more. Also, if you're somebody who's drinking beers and wine, these are fermented and they're like liquid sugar. Now, the good news is that our microbiome can change in as little as 24 to 48 hours. So I'm going to be talking to you when I talk to you about the 3 steps to beat Candida, how we're going to change that gut microbiome just by changing our diet. The third way in which Candida can overgrow and get out of control is by medications. Now, of course, we all know about antibiotics killing off the good bacteria, but did you know that Motrin can disrupt your microbiome as well? Steroids too. So many of the patients that I see are on immunosuppressive drugs and steroids because they have autoimmune conditions, until of course they go through my program and we're able to get them off of those medications, but they come in on these. And steroids itself can weaken your immune system, cause leaky gut, and actually lead to Candida overgrowth. And then of course, I've already mentioned before, birth control pills, hormone replacement therapy, or even just a high estrogen state can lead to yeast overgrowth as well. We don't know the exact mechanism, but Candida seems to love estrogen. Now, the fourth way in which Candida can overgrow is stress. Now, who here, tell me in the comments, has absolutely no stress? I know, even me, the best of us over here, get stressed and have a hard time dealing with it. So having acute stress is a normal condition that we're meant to have in a stressful event, but it's supposed to go away. Most of us are living with chronic stress, and chronic stress can ultimately suppress your immune system. And when you're chronically stressed, it can elevate your cortisol, and elevated cortisol can elevate your estrogen, and elevated estrogen can lead to Candida overgrowth. So folks, are you seeing how all of this is just interconnected and how it's just really kind of mind-boggling this day and age that doctors are not putting all these pieces together for us? They are failing us. So all of this chronic stress can disrupt our gut microbiome. So let's go back to Anna's story just as a quick review. So now you can see when she came in with that laundry list of symptoms, and I took a history from her, how it was like a light bulb going ding, 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 ding to me, Candida, Candida, with every word that she was saying. She was born by C-section, formula fed, antibiotics, birth control, pregnancies, high carb diet. Of course she had Candida overgrowth. And once we treated that one simple gut infection, everything fell back into place for Anna. She got her life back. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that for yourself today. Okay, so let's talk about quickly how Candida can wreak havoc on your whole body. How can this one simple gut infection wreak havoc everywhere from your brain to your toe? And again, just that simple graphic to show you that no matter what you're dealing with, any of these symptoms out there could be Candida as the underlying cause. So let's talk about how that is possible. So the gut-brain connection. You know, many people talk about the gut as being the second brain. Nearly 95% of our neurotransmitters are made there, our feel-good hormones. And when yeast is in our gut, it produces an alcohol called acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde is the exact same byproduct that happens when we drink alcohol. When you drink a beer, your liver produces acetaldehyde. So it's why when people have Candida, they can feel drunk or spacey or have brain fog. In fact, when somebody comes in to see me with brain fog, it's what I call pathognomonic. It's something that I think, ding, 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 this is likely yeast overgrowth or Candida when I hear brain fog. And it's because of this acetaldehyde. It can also irritate the brain, which can cause poor memory, can cause ADD. I've literally seen ADD be the cause of Candida. And once we got rid of the Candida, the ADD goes away. It can cause sleep issues, depression. Again, all kinds of people come to see with me depression. We treat the Candida and they're no longer depressed. And I'm actually going to show you how that can be. So as I already mentioned, 95% of our neurotransmitters are made in your gut. And so what we believe happens with yeast is that it lays a layer over your gut, and then you can't produce that serotonin. So when you go on an antidepressant, what happens is the doctor gives you something to block your receptors so you have more serotonin floating around. But I think, why aren't you making the serotonin in the first place? And often it's this yeast laying a layer and you can't produce serotonin. So once we get rid of the yeast, then you're able to produce the serotonin again, and then voila, your depression is gone. Now, of course, this infection is in your gut, so it can cause all kinds of digestive drama. Now, there's not one particular thing that it can cause for people. For some people, I see just gas. Other people, it's bloating. Other people, it's constipation. And some people, it's diarrhea. Other people, it's just simply called, irritable bowel because the doctor can't figure it out. And of course, I see lots and lots of people who have Candida in their gut, but they don't have any actual digestive complaints. They have all the other complaints like the nail fungus or the moodiness or the depression or the brain fog or the rashes. And then of course, when we treat the yeast in the gut, that goes away. Now, I mentioned diabetes earlier as well, and I just want anybody to know out there who's listening, anybody out there have diabetes? Tell me in the comments if you have diabetes. There's type 1 and type 2. So somebody's saying spotty connection. So team, let me know if we're having that. Dolly was diagnosed with celiac. So just tell me if anybody out there has diabetes. Lorraine's saying yes. So diabetes, you know, in order to get diabetes, you have elevated blood sugars. That's how you get it. Paula, yes. Sandra, yes. John, Lorraine, Leslie, you guys are going to want to listen up because this slide's really helpful for you. Brenda, Michelle, Jenny. So when you have diabetes, your blood sugar is elevated, which is, you know, obviously a symptom of diabetes. And when your blood sugar remains elevated, it can cause Candida overgrowth. I've never seen a diabetic type 1 or type 2 that does not have underlying Candida overgrowth. Now, as you treat the Candida, the blood sugars will often drop and your need for diabetes medication, whether it's insulin or an oral medication, often goes down. So if you're somebody who plans to do the Candida program that I'm going to talk to you about here and follow the 3 steps that I'm going to go over here, you really need to be monitoring your blood sugars very carefully while you're following the 3 steps, because likely your blood sugar will decrease. You'll need to lower your medications. If not, for some people, also eliminate them. Okay. All right. And then of course, if you're, you know, eating more carbs and sugars, you're going to gain weight. Candida is often the underlying cause of all kinds of skin issues. I saw several people had rosacea, from psoriasis to eczema, and there's all these unexplained rashes. And then of course, if you have nail fungus, dandruff, tinea versicolor, these are true fungal infections. Now, somebody who has anal itching, genital itching, or just itchy skin, those typically are what I say pathognomonic for yeast as well. So, and then here in Austin, this is a big problem for people is high cedar levels, high mold levels. People will get sinus infections and antibiotics, and then this is like cyclical thing. And I find that when I can treat people for the underlying yeast overgrowth, often we can break that vicious cycle of the, you know, high mold counts and the sinus infections, and the need to get antibiotics. All right, now looks like Diane's having some skin issues. We have Lisa, who's told she's insulin resistant. So definitely following the program that I'm talking to you about today is going to be really helpful for you. Kathy says that she's type 1, which is an autoimmune, and she can't get off insulin. Depending on how long you've had it, you may not fully be able to get off insulin, and that's okay. I take thyroid hormone. I don't have a thyroid. That's life-saving medicine for you and me, but you might be able to lower your dose as you work through the 3 steps here. All right, well, let's get into, because I've already seen a lot of people writing in with autoimmune conditions. And so feel free to tell me in the comments if you have an autoimmune condition and what kind you have. But there is a big connection between Candida, leaky gut, and autoimmunity. So let's jump into that one. So Candida has a couple different stages, the yeast cell stage, the pseudohyphae, and the true hyphae. And once it gets to this true hyphae stage, it can actually lead to leaky gut, and leaky gut can lead to more serious health conditions. We have Dolly with lupus, Shannon with MS, Dana with Hashimoto's, Paula with inflammation, Carol with fibromyalgia, Amy with ulcerative colitis, Michelle with Hashimoto's, Patty with Hashimoto's, lots of people with Shelley Hashimoto's, Paula with rheumatoid arthritis, Sandy with fibromyalgia. My goodness, you guys are in the right place. And I hope you've also read my book, The Autoimmune Solution, for all this autoimmunity, because that can definitely help you. But Candida is typically a root cause for one of the root causes, not the only root cause, but it's typically part of the picture for people with autoimmunity. So if you're new to the concept of leaky gut, let me just tell you, our gut, I like to think of it like a drawbridge. It sits semi-permeable so that we can digest and absorb our food. So it's, you know, like it lets the little boats in. That's how we normally digest macronutrients and micronutrients. As we bombard our system with food, stress, toxins, medications, these tight junctions break apart, which means that zonulin is released and the drawbridge opens up. And then big boats that were never meant to get in to your bloodstream do. Our gut is only one cell layer thick. And so right below that is our immune system and then our bloodstream. And so anything that gets through there then gets into our bloodstream. Now, what happens when our gut becomes leaky, then toxins, microbes, viruses, foods get into our bloodstream. And when they do, again, our immune system is right there. It's just one cell layer thick and boom, 80% of our immune system sitting there. That's why if you have an autoimmune condition, you likely have leaky gut and you really want to be paying attention here. So then our immune system goes on high alert trying to attack these foreign invaders, and it sets up a stage of inflammation. And as I write about in the autoimmune solution, I was the one to coin the term the autoimmune spectrum. Now many people are using the term, but I was the one to coin that term, the autoimmune spectrum, where no inflammation, I don't know who doesn't have that, to some inflammation all the way up to severe inflammation can lead potentially to an autoimmune disease. So the more chronic inflammation you have, the more you're setting the stage to leading yourself to an autoimmune condition. And then, of course, we know about the concept called molecular mimicry, or a case of mistaken identity, which is when these various molecules that were never meant to get into our bloodstream do, our immune system sitting right there goes on high alert, goes to attack, say, gluten, for example. And we know that that the gluten molecule looks very similar to our thyroid tissue, and our immune system inadvertently attacks our thyroid when it's trying to go attack the gluten molecule. So this is called molecular mimicry, and it is one of the forefront theories about how autoimmunity happens. And of course, I write about this extensively in the autoimmune solution if you're looking for more about that, as well as the thyroid connection for all of you who are writing in with the Hashimoto's. So again, you can see once we have this leaky gut, how this one gut infection can suddenly wreak havoc on your entire body. Now remember, folks, this is extremely treatable, and we're going to walk through that here in just a minute. This is the part that all of you guys have been waiting for, is 3 steps to beat Candida. We're going to do this easily, and most importantly, we're going to do this naturally, guys. All right, so here's my secret. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to starve the yeast. Remember, I told you the yeast feeds off of carbs and sugars and fermented foods. I saw somebody writing in about kombucha. Now, I feel differently than most people do out there. Anybody else is talking about Candida. Fermented food is yeasty. So I recommend you kill all the yeast first, then you can add in the good fermented foods to help rebuild your microbiome. But I definitely have you avoid all fermented foods, even the quote unquote good ones like kombucha and kimchi and sauerkraut and all that stuff, while you're trying to fight the Candida. Because it's like a fishbowl. You got good fish and bad fish in there, and then you add in the food, and it's not just the good fish that eat it. So it's not just the good bacteria that eat those fermented foods. The Candida can too. Then I have my 1-2 punch. Step number 2 is to kill the yeast. And I do that with what I say, my 1-2 punch. So my 1 punch is CanDefense. CanDefense is something that I have formulated myself, which is a powerful blend of all natural plant-based enzymes that break down the yeast cell wall. It's specifically designed to restore a healthy gut microbiome by killing the yeast without harming the good bacteria. My second punch in that 1-2 punch is caprylic acid, which again is a natural blend of short-chain fatty acids that are derived from coconut oil. And the acids basically can create an environment that is not good for the yeast. And it basically pokes holes in the yeast cell wall, and then the yeast dies. And again, this is designed very specifically to restore your gut microbiome by killing the yeast without harming your good bacteria. And then just to make sure, we add in number 3, which is restore, and add in good bacteria. So we add in a high quality pharmaceutical grade, 100 billion unit colony forming unit probiotic to support and restore your microbiome. So again, this is how we want to get our rainforest back in balance. We kill the bad guys, we starve them out, we kill them, and then we restore them. Now, so what we've gone over so far, and we actually did it a lot more quickly than I anticipated. I was speaking very quickly. I hope you guys got it all. But what we've kind of covered right now is what is Candida, 4 ways it gets out of control, how it wreaks havoc on your whole body, the Candida leaky gut autoimmune connection, and of course, how to beat it in 3 easy steps. Now, I'm going to get in just a few minutes to where you guys can ask me any questions that you have. But before we get there, I'd like to share with you about Anna's story and really what I did for her specifically, and most importantly, what her life looked like after following my 3 steps. So let's take a look at what your life can be like after you beat Candida for good as well. So remember Anna, she was 35 in the prime of her life with 2 small children. And she was super exhausted and had fatigue and bloating and depression. Well, after I used the exact same 3-step approach with Anna that I'm talking to you about today, this is what her life looked like after she had beaten Candida for good. Her energy and her vitality returned. She felt like she got her spark back. Her brain was firing on all cylinders. She wasn't forgetting her car keys or her grocery list at the grocery store. She's able to complete her to-do list because she wasn't napping anymore when her kids were napping. And most importantly, she'd gotten her mojo back, and she'd recently returned the last time that I saw her from a romantic getaway with her husband. Her skin had cleared for the first time in 20 years, and she felt super confident. She was actually even telling me she was going to the grocery store now without any makeup on. I mean, I love that. She was back to her ideal weight, and she wasn't counting calories. She didn't have to change her exercise routine. She just felt like she was finally in control. No more sugar cravings. That yeast was no longer in controlling her. Her belly bloat was gone. She'd gone on this romantic getaway with her husband, and she was wearing her bikini again, and she was super excited about it. And she also wasn't depressed, not only because we got rid of the Candida, so she was able to make her serotonin, but she also just felt like this cloud had lifted. And now she wasn't having to go from doctor to doctor, and she wasn't just like sitting on the sofa napping with no energy and eating carbs and then getting even more depressed. The cycle had broken for Anna. And the most important thing is I want the cycle to break for you guys too. So tell me in the comments, what would you do if you were living symptom-free? If you beat Candida for good, tell me in the comments what you'd be doing. Would you be regaining your confidence because you said goodbye to embarrassing symptoms? Would you have more time and energy to do the things that you love? Would you feel like yourself again without the brain fog and mood swings? Dana's saying she trained for a 5K. That's awesome. So would you just prevent more serious illnesses from developing? Would you be getting back to enjoying time with your family? Bobby said she'd be more active with her grandkids. Andrea would have less pain. Lorraine, oh, okay, hang on. It's telling me the time in France. Hey, Lorraine. Let's see. There's so many coming through. I can't read them so quick. Susan would play more with her grandchildren. Shelly would do more activities outside. Becky would have a fun life. All right. Leslie would do all of the above. All right, guys. Well, remember when I told you at the beginning of this session that I was going to give you everything that I could in an hour, and I did. So we went over the 3 steps, all the places it can wreak havoc, exactly how to get rid of that Candida. And you guys said you wanted to hear more if I had more information of where you could go to get more help if you wanted more help. So here it is. I have a solution for you. Conventional medicine failed me, and it is my mission to not have it fail you too. I have the same dream for you that I had for Anna, and that's to get your health and your vitality back. So after a decade of working with thousands of patients whose symptoms were all caused by one treatable gut issue, I developed a proven protocol to beat Candida for good. So guys, in just 30 days, you can beat Candida for good so that you can have your life back. You don't have more embarrassing symptoms. You don't have brain fog. You can go hiking. You can run a 5K. You can play with your grandchildren. So let me tell you how the program works. This program, I show you exactly how to starve the yeast, and I give you everything that you need to kill the yeast and to restore your gut health. The reason that I know that this program works is because I've already mentioned, I've worked with thousands of patients who followed this exact same program. Of course, those were people in my clinic, but we've already had over 2,000 people do the exact same online program that I'm telling you about today with amazing results. I'm actually going to share some of those in a minute before I get to your questions. The program is a step-by-step guidance that takes all the guesswork out for you. It has all the tools you need so that you can beat Candida for good. And you get support from me and my team. So it's just like being a patient in my clinic, except from the comfort of your own home. Conventional medicine failed me, and it is my mission to not have it fail you too. It is literally why I get up every day. It is why I have the passion that I have. Hopefully you hear it in my voice because it is real. People often at this point, I get a little teary-eyed. And my team will all tell you it's real. So this is why I created this program. I don't want you to be failed by conventional medicine any longer. And I'm no longer taking new patients. So I want to help you. It is my mission. We have every meal mapped out for you, recipes, shopping lists, and guides so that you're not spending countless hours in the store or in your kitchen. We have step-by-step guides with everything you need mapped out for 30 days so there's no guesswork. It's like having me literally right next to you at home coaching you on exactly what to do. We've included special tips and cases for things like Candida and SIBO and doing those and treating those at the same time, travel tips, on-the-go tips, and how to maintain an ideal weight while on the program if losing weight is a concern for you. As part of the program today, you'll be provided with the same high-level treatment that you get as if you were sitting in my office in Austin. These are the exact supplements that I use in my clinic to help you get your life back. And they have been used by literally over 2,000 people who've done this exact online program. The Candifence to break down the yeast cell wall, caprylic acids to poke holes in the yeast cell wall, and of course the 100 billion probiotic to restore your good bacteria. In addition, you're going to get my secret weapon that I haven't even talked about, that's there to help you safely and gently detox from Candida. It's an all-natural activated charcoal derived from coconut that's comprised of millions of tiny pores that bind Candida so that it's quickly flushed from your system. My goal is to help you succeed, and I want to arm you with the tools you need to do that effectively. In addition, I've included my most popular product in my store, the Vanilla Paleo Protein Smoothie Powder. So on this program, you'll be enjoying protein-packed, delicious smoothies throughout the program. And so it's gonna make your life a breeze in terms of cooking, and you'll stay full and energized. And the protein powder is made from grass-fed, pasture-raised beef, never given GMOs, hormones, or antibiotics. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, grain-free, sugar-free, so it's perfect for this program. There's a little hint of stevia, and I'm literally addicted to it. You can ask my team. I literally eat one of these every single day, even in the winter, unless it's like 20 degrees outside. So the paleo protein is also perfect for when you make those irresistible smoothies to beat sugar cravings, which I told you I'd email you if you stick till the end. And don't forget, I'm answering your questions in just a minute here. As a bonus, you'll get a 6-compartment supplement organizer to keep you organized and on track while you're on the go. This is going to make organizing a breeze, convenient when you're on the go, and it helps you keep track so that you never miss a dose of those yeast-fighting supplements. There's weekly progress trackers and a symptom quiz so that you can document as your symptoms are disappearing. This is one of my favorite parts of this program, is people seeing, not only feeling their symptoms going away, but they see the numbers dissolving and dropping, going back down that spectrum. So this is how you're going to stay on track. You'll mark your milestones so that you can celebrate your wins. And I've worked with my registered dietitian, and we've created 30 days worth of mouth-watering recipes for you. We've focused on keeping the recipes to 5 ingredients or less so that you're not spending hours in the kitchen. Your spouse, significant other, your children, they're going to love the meals. They are never even going to know they too are beating Candida. You see that dessert right there? Yeah, you actually get dessert on the program as well. The chocolate mousse, it's the bomb. Now, I have seen it time and time again that when people get rid of the Candida, I mentioned it already, people describe it like a light bulb being turned on. Suddenly their brain is firing on all cylinders. No more forgetting the keys, the grocery list, no more just sitting around on the sofa feeling buzzed. They get their life back. In fact, a number of you guys wrote about you having fibromyalgia. And I literally was seeing a follow-up patient yesterday who has fibromyalgia. And she could barely get off the couch when she first came to see me and had pain throughout her body. And I do believe she had fibromyalgia, but one of the root causes for her was Candida. And once we treated it, her fibromyalgia diagnosis was gone. So this can be life transforming. Now, why is this program different? Well, I'm a medical doctor. It's one of the only doctor design online programs that I'm aware of. You might see other diets and other programs online by health coaches, nutritionists, pharmacists, chiropractors. They might not have ever seen somebody actually in a clinic. I've worked with literally over 1,000 patients over the last decade in my clinic. And then we've had over 2,000 people do this exact same program. It's proven. We know it works. It's been tried and tested and refined and perfected. And this is the exact same protocol that I use with my very own patients in my clinic. I'm so confident about this program that I actually have a 30-day money-back guarantee. I 100% stand behind this program. You can get a money-back guarantee, full money back, no questions asked. So with the Candida Control Program, now this is actually always on my website, but I have something special I'm going to be talking to you about today, something very special that's a limited time, so give me a second. But in general, when you do the Candida Control Program, not only you'll be getting your energy and vitality back so that you can actually go on vacation and enjoy it because you have time, you feel good, you can go hiking like other people were mentioning. No more forgetfulness. You'll regain your clear thinking and your brain will be firing on all cylinders. So you're at the top of your game, whether it's in your passions, in your career, or just with your family. So you can go out and enjoy being with them. No more rashes, dry skin, itching, nail fungus. Imagine wearing those open-toed shoes or that bikini again. No more gas or bloating. Imagine what a flat tummy will feel and look like. No more mood swings, so you can enjoy your family. Now, as I mentioned, this is always available on my website, but I'm excited to tell you about an opportunity that we have once a year. So this is something that I literally only offer once a year, and it's called the Candida Breakthrough Challenge. So it's a very special opportunity to join me, yes, me, because I will be going through it with you, and Dana, my registered dietitian, because yes, she'll be going through it with you. Maybe we'll even be able to convince a few of my other team members to go through it with you too. And hundreds of others completing the program together as a challenge. So it's so amazing to do it as one supportive group. To have hundreds of people going through this at the same time, sharing their successes. I, again, have goosebumps because we did this last year and the feedback that we got was so amazing. And I got to see it real time because I'm going to tell you about some exciting bonuses that come with it. So you have a limited time to enroll in this challenge where we'll all be going through it together. And that is, enrollment is now through Sunday, January 21st, because we kick off the challenge on Monday the 22nd. So this isn't some fake deadline that I'm just telling you about. This is real. It's Sunday, January 21st. And then we're going to hit the ground running on Monday, January 22nd. So let me show you what, in addition to the regular program, makes this challenge so special. So powers and numbers. I already mentioned we do this once a year. We have powers and numbers. There are literally hundreds of people going through this all at one time. And there's studies that show, and we see this to be true as well, that people are more successful in beating Candida when they do it as a group. They're not studies showing that about Candida. We see that, but there's studies showing when people do things in a group, they are more successful. So my team and I are going to be with you every step of the way. So you are sure to succeed. You're going to get exclusive access to me and my team and to my registered dietitian. And that would literally cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars. In addition, there's bonus resources that are not available at any other time of the year. And this is my favorite part. We have a members only support group going through the Candida challenge on Facebook. All, everybody's there at one time. So in the Facebook, Dana, my registered dietitian, is going to be there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, answering your questions. I pop in often as well. You also have the support of my team and the support of all the other challengers. And literally when we did this last year, I have goosebumps again because it was the highest compliment that I could possibly be given, is that everyone in the group said it was the highest level of support they had ever received from any online program ever. I am so, what do I want to say? I just want to give back so much. I want you to succeed so much that we have literally put everything into this program and we hold nothing back with you guys. There are also exclusive videos and articles that will happen, and there are going to be 5 live Q&A calls with me just to this Facebook group. Now, when I do a Facebook Live to my regular Facebook, there can literally be tens of thousands of people on the Facebook at one time trying to ask me questions, and I can't get to them all. But when you sign up for the challenge, I'm committed to you. And I'm in there once a week for 4 weeks, doing live Q&As with you, answering all your questions. They're slated for an hour. I've stayed up to 2 hours sometimes. So again, I'm here to support you. If you cannot attend one of those, you can submit your question ahead of time. And if you're not there to view it at the time, they'll always stay up in the Facebook group, and they also get emailed out. So you will be getting these as well. And they'll also come with a transcript as well. So you can either listen to them or you can read them. And again, the videos stay up, forever in that group, so you can go back and watch them. So, guys, how will it feel for you to take back your health? Does taking back your health, well-being, and feeling like a younger self really matter to you? Would you like to clear the brain fog that keeps you from being less than the rock star self you are at work and in your personal life? Stop the itching that keeps you up at night? Rev up your sex drive like Anna did and get the spark back in your relationship. Throw back on that bikini. How much is that worth to you? Is it worth the $3,000 that if I was taking new patients, it cost to come see me, plus $1,000 in flights to get to Austin, Texas? I wanted to do more for you guys. I can't see everybody. I'm not seeing new patients. I'm spending my time trying to reach more people and help more people than just one-on-one in my office. And I have a beautiful daughter at home. So I've got some wonderful, wonderful news for you. It's not going to cost you anywhere near $3,000 to take back your health and to beat Candida, and to do it from the comfort of your own living room. So if you were just to do this program that's on my website at all times, getting the 30-day breakthrough guide, all the resources you need, that's a value of over $300. But in addition, you're going to get all the supplements that you need to kill Candida naturally, restore your gut microbiome. Don't forget, you're going to safely, I cannot speak, I'm trying to get ahead of myself, to safely and gently detox with the charcoal and the protein paleo smoothie powder, so that you can feel full and energized. All those supplements together would cost $250. 4 hours of my time at $800 for 50 minutes is $3,200. Having endless time with Dana, who charges $250 an hour, is literally, we can't put a price on how many hours she will be in the Facebook group during the 30 days, but we can safely say thousands of dollars. So we've put a price tag on this entire program. We're valuing it at nearly $3,800. But because conventional medicine failed me, and I literally get up every day with the mission to not have it fail anyone else, I am here to help as many people as possible beat Candida for good. So if you want to join me in the Candida Breakthrough Challenge, you're going to get the entire package for $399. So remember, all those seemingly unrelated gut symptoms just go back to one simple treatable infection. And together, we can beat it. We can beat Candida together, folks. Now, if you're somebody who's interested in accelerating your progress, you can fast track your success with a gut repairing upgrade that's offered at an even greater discount than if you bought these supplements on my website today. They include my 3 top gut healing and supporting supplements so that you can unlock the gateway to health more quickly. That's collagen, which sort of plugs up the holes in a leaky gut, allowing it to heal quicker. L-glutamine, which supports to rejuvenating or turning over the gut cells more quickly so that your gut is restored even more quickly, and digestive enzymes that help to lower the digestive burden and while you're restoring your gut. Okay, and for 2 days only, you have an exclusive opportunity to work one-on-one with my registered dietitian with huge savings. Now, my registered dietitian has trained directly with me, and she has helped me in my clinic for the last several years dealing with all kinds of patients with complex issues from around the world. Candida, for her, that's a breeze compared to everything else she's helped people overcome. Chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, autoimmunity, you name it, she is my right-hand woman. So during a 75-minute session, she will do a deep dive into your health history. And she can review labs if you order any labs and want to submit those ahead of time. She can help you identify your personal root cause, whether it's Candida or possibly something else. Then she's going to create a personalized plan for you with dietary and supplement recommendations tailored just for you to help you beat Candida. Now, normally this is a $375 value for a 75-minute session with Dana one-on-one. But for the next 2 days only, you're going to get a 40% savings. That's over $150 when you purchase it as part of the challenge upgrade. Now, remember I told you that we did a challenge last year. We do this once a year. This is the only time this year that I know that I'm offering this challenge. We did this last year, and here's some stats from some of the challengers who went through the 30-day challenge and beat their yeast. That symptom tracker that we talked about, the average improvement was down 36 points in just 30 days. We followed up with people, and most continued to see improvement in their score continuing to drop even after the 30 days. On average, I don't know if anybody out there is looking for weight loss, people lost 6 pounds. Now, some people are coming in and they already feel underweight because they're dealing with autoimmunity, and we have ways around that as well. So this is really not meant to be a weight loss program, but people naturally lost weight. And then sleep was a big issue when we were checking in with people when they signed up for the program, and people saw an improvement of their sleep of almost an hour more asleep a night. So imagine how much more rested you are and how much more effective you're going to be if you get additional sleep. And we're talking high quality sleep, not just getting an extra hour. Now I'm going to get to your questions here in just a moment, but I just wanted to share some feedback from some of the challengers from our last challenge. This program was a godsend. 2 different doctors basically laughed at me when I told them I had Candida and that it was causing many of my symptoms. I took matters into my own hands by taking a chance on this program, and I'm so grateful I did. My symptoms are gone, and I feel great. Susan, I have goosebumps from that. I don't know about you guys. I know because there's so many of you guys already. You told me you'd given up on your doctors. So after this program, my brain fog and fatigue are gone. Dr. Myers saved my marriage and my job. I don't struggle to find the words or lose my purse. My brain works again. I have energy for my family, my career, and my passions. I am me. Thank you, Jennifer. I get a little teary-eyed when I read these sometimes. They're so powerful. Before this program, I was bloated and miserable. I'd gained 9 pounds over the past year and was totally lost my waistline. I knew that Candida was an issue, but I didn't realize how much of an issue it was. Now I have my flat stomach and I lost 6 pounds. My waist is back and my pants are loose. Stacy. All right, guys, I know it's winter, but spring and summer will be here before we know it. My itching and eczema have reduced significantly. My most significant change is in the improvement of the quality of my sleep. I suffered with insomnia for years. Within a week of following the program, I noticed that I was falling asleep quickly, sleeping deeply, and staying asleep during the night. I wake up refreshed. Even my husband noticed. He told me that I'm more awake throughout the day, but especially in the mornings. Tamra. So I start getting goosebumps. When people, I love when the person going through the program notices something is awesome, but how much better when your spouse or your children notice that the real you is back. It's priceless, literally. My depression and anxiety are almost completely gone. I fit into my clothes. I haven't seen in several years because they were in the back of my closet. My outlook on life and ability to handle stress has improved greatly, and I'm able to sleep like real people sleep at night, all night long. I'm happy on the inside again, and that improves everything in my life. Thank you, Dr. Myers, for all your work in putting the protocols together. Wendy. So, guys, I want you to beat yeast for good, and I want to help you do it. You don't need to go through this alone. There were 19,000 people that signed up for this webinar. We're suffering out there, folks. Conventional medicine is failing us. You don't have to do it alone. We can beat it together. I've only planned this challenge once this year, so if you'd like to join, now is the time to join. You can always buy the basic program on my website at any time you want, but this is the only time this year that you're going to get the live support from me, from my registered dietitian, and from my team, and all the other challengers. Remember, people are much more successful when they do something as a group. Now is the time to make the commitment to yourself. Commit to no more brain fog, no more itching, no more fatigue, no more digestive issues. Instead, commit to full energy, vitality, joy, and health. You don't need to spend any more time looking for a solution. I have it for you here today. I've done all the hard work for you. I've taken all the guesswork out for you. So let's do it together, guys. I'm going to get into your questions now. There are a few that got submitted earlier, and I've seen them coming through already. So I'm going to get into your questions now. So also you can start submitting your questions if you haven't already. I know there's been a lot that have already come through. I know my staff has started to answer some of them, but you can start to submit your questions now as well. And my team is going to put them on a document, and I'm going to go ahead. And start answering those questions as well. And I'd like to go ahead and give a big shout out to Denise, Julie, Matthew, and Karen, who have already committed to taking back their health today. So thank you. I look forward to seeing you, Denise, Julie, Matthew, and Karen. In just a week or so, we're going to be doing it together. And now Wendy's already joined, and Karen. So I look forward to seeing you guys. We're going to do this together, everybody. All right, so now to some questions. Do I need supplements, or will the diet work alone? So what I have found in my experience of working with thousands of people around the world with Candida, the diet is certainly the first step in the three-step approach. So the diet, maybe if you have a tiny bit of Candida alone would work, but I really recommend you do all three steps. It's very important to do all three steps to be successful at really beating this for good. Do I need testing before I do the program? So if if you're working with a functional medicine doctor and you got some testing, awesome. But if you don't, if you answered yes to any of those symptoms that I mentioned on the first slide and throughout, itching, fatigue, brain fog, bloating, autoimmunity, fibromyalgia, diabetes, likely Candida is an issue for you. And everything that I'm giving you here is all natural. It's safe. It's effective. So it is not a requirement to have testing. And also we have a quiz on my website if you want to be for sure, and you can take a quiz for Candida. I'd also like to give a shout out to Joanna, Susan, Deborah. They too have committed to the challenge. All right, gang, I look forward to seeing you and just on the 22nd. And I saw this one coming through. Can a vegan or vegetarian do the program? Absolutely. So the main thing is that for the first time ever, we have included the paleo protein powder in this program. So, you might want to give that to a friend. We do have a vegan protein powder on my website you could get. Just know that, remember, Candida is fed by carbs, and grains and legumes, though they're quote unquote healthier carbs than a Snickers bar or a donut, they're still ultimately carbs. So you will be cutting back on the carbs as you do this program, and we just want to be making sure that you're getting enough protein. So, okay, I already have autoimmunity. Will this work for me? Yes, I have worked with thousands of patients with autoimmunity, and there are so few of them that I've tested that don't have Candida as one of their underlying root causes to their autoimmunity. Remember, we talked about that leaky gut, Candida, autoimmune connection. So you're in the right place, and we have instructions to modify the recipes. Now, 90% of the recipes are already A-OK. They're autoimmune paleo or the Myers Way autoimmune approved. 90% of them already are. There are a few recipes in there that we have how you modify them, and it will be something as simple as just leaving out one ingredient. So just a couple of places, but everything here is approved for anybody with autoimmunity. Okay, Louisa has also decided to join us on the challenge. Thank you, Louisa. Super excited to meet you in a week. Okay, so we have, if you have SIBO, can I treat both at the same time? So I didn't really get into SIBO here, but SIBO is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And Candida and SIBO have a lot of overlapping symptoms and a lot of, a lot of people can have both conditions. So I don't have time to get in that here. I have a quiz on my website. You can take that quiz. And if you do have SIBO, yes, we have all the instructions, exactly what to do, how to treat both of those infections at the same time. You'll need to purchase 2 additional supplements in order to do those at the same time, but we walk you through exactly how to do that in the guide in the program. We also have Margaret, Diane, and Betsy. All right, welcome, ladies. So happy to have you. I look forward to seeing you on the 22nd. Congratulations for taking your health into your own hand and to committing to yourself. My Candida keeps coming back. Will it work for me this time? So yeah, guys, remember, this is a doctor design program. It's proven, it's effective. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied. So we find a lot of people, kind of go one place and they get a little bit of help and they go somewhere else, they get a little bit more help. This is all done for you. It's all, everything that you need at one time. And a lot of times that's the final piece. You just needed, maybe you were doing the supplements, but not the diet, or you're doing the diet, not the supplements, or then you didn't add in the probiotics. We're doing it all at one time. We give you all the resources. Now, there are some special cases like toxic mold and some other cases, heavy metals, why yeast might be lingering and you can't get rid of it. And we cover all of that in the program as well. I am already underweight. Will this program make me lose weight? So it is super common that people will lose weight when they do a program like this because it's lower carb. However, we've really designed that keeping it in mind because many of the people who follow me and are interested in this do have autoimmunity and are already underweight and they're concerned about that. So we have lots of tips and tricks and we cover that extensively in the program as well. And if you're somebody who's overweight looking to lose weight, likely you will do that on this program. Remember, the average was 6 pounds. Okay, so how will I access the material? So when you join, you get instant access and all the program materials are downloadable. So they're easy to save and you can print them if you want. Now it does come with supplements, remember, so the supplements will be shipped directly to you and it's all in one box. We're super excited, new things that we came up from the last challenge. We added the paleo protein powder to make life a bit easier and cooking, just a lot easier. And so I think people are going to be super excited about that. We've included smoothies in the program. And then we put the whole kit in one box. It's really pretty, comes in a box, it's like all nicely displayed. So it comes in a nice kit with instructions and everything to do. And then you'll also get things emailed to you. So we're super excited. You'll be the first people to receive our new box. I'm on a budget. Won't it cost more to cook like this? Absolutely not. So if you're somebody who's already, kind of eating junk food and packaged food, you're going to be getting rid of all that. So you're going to save money. Plus, now we've included the paleo protein powder. So that's going to take care of a significant amount of meals on this. So literally, one meal a day practically is covered in the cost of the program. Plus, nowadays, I used to only exclusively shop at Whole Foods, and now you can get a lot of organic food and healthy food at Target and Walmart. I don't go to Walmart, but I won't get into that. But Target and Costco for me. You can also get it at Sam's and Walmart if you're a Sam's or Walmart person. I won't go there. Okay, if I eat out or travel during the program, is that okay? So you can certainly continue to travel while on the program. If you have an internet connection, you'll have access to Facebook. That's where, all that information will be. Again, you can submit questions ahead of time. You can watch the videos later, and you can download everything you need and just take your supplements with you. So that's not a problem. Certainly, you'll want to just make sure that you're either planning your meals ahead, or if you're eating out in restaurants, that you're, super careful about, where you're eating and what you're eating. Can I do the program if I'm pregnant or nursing? So pregnant is a high estrogen state and can be a breeding ground for yeast. So certainly I think it's super helpful to follow the diet. And you can take the probiotic. When it comes to the supplements, the Candifence and the caprylic acid, I'm sure that they're fine in pregnancy and nursing, but there really aren't any studies. And I'm pretty conservative when it comes to that. So if you'd like to do this program while you're pregnant and nursing, you can do the program. You can be part of the challenge. You can be in the Facebook group. You can take the paleo protein. You can take the probiotics, and you can do the diet. And then I would just save the yeast fighting supplements for after you finish breastfeeding or you've delivered. Okay, is this protocol safe for children? Yes, the diet's a well-balanced diet and safe for children. If your child can swallow pills, then they can easily follow along on this. We also have the dosages on our store on my website. And then if you need any personal advice, Dana is also available for wellness coaching. So I would also like to say, it looks like, I think it's Rochelle, Ann, Annette, Angela, Carol, Renee, and Deborah have also all taken back their health and decided to join. And Lorraine, yay, Lorraine. Hey, where are the guys? Come on, guys. We need some guys in here. So happy to have you. I cannot wait to meet you on the 22nd. And I look forward to going through this challenge with you. And then we have Joan as well. And I don't know if I said Deborah again as well. So awesome. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to get to your specific questions here in 1 second. I most importantly wanted to thank you all for spending the last hour and 10 minutes with me. I know you could have been doing anything else in the world, and I just want to appreciate you for being here, for maybe stepping out on a ledge to learn something new, for expanding your mind and being open to this information. And to each and every one of you, whether you've committed now, you decide to commit later, or this was just your first step in committing to taking back your health, I want to congratulate each and every one of you. So thank you for being here today. Don't forget, you can fast track your success. If you'd like, you can accelerate it with the gut upgrade repair part of the program as well. Let's see. We have Judy, Paige, Christy, Nancy, Kimberly, Eamon, Christy, and Tanya, who have also committed to their health. So this is amazing, guys. I don't know. I mean, the last time we had this challenge, I don't think we had this many committed so far. So this is so, so amazing. I'm in goosebumps. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to meet each and every one of you guys on the 22nd in the Facebook Lives and the Facebook community. Dana and I are super excited. Mary and Marla have also joined us. So thrilled. Let me see if there are any questions for me coming through from my team. Looks like we're getting some questions coming in now. So, okay, they'll keep posting as more people join. And Danny's asking me, can I describe brain fog? Is it a feeling or more about memory loss and confusion? You know, Danny, only one time have I personally had brain fog, and it was right after it was my honeymoon, and I had to go speak on Dr. Oz, and I had this horrible, horrible illness, upper respiratory thing, and I was still not well, but I basically had no choice but had committed to Dr. Oz, so I went. And I remember being there, and I was describing the salad. And the salad, I was supposed to talk about all the beneficial things on the salad, but when I looked at the salad, you know, it was things like garlic and olive oil, things that you couldn't see. And I remember looking at the salad and being at a complete loss. And it was like a commercial break or something, and then the TV was literally coming back on, and I was just in a panic thinking, my brain, it better come to me. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? So that's my only experience in what I think of as brain fog. A lot of people describe it like that, or just a cloud, or other people who come in and they, work in like a tech field or something, like their brain is just not firing as quickly as it used to. Like it can't process information as well. So some people it's a cloud, other people it's not processing information, other people it's kind of memory stuff. So I don't think that there's a specific thing, but people who have it, they seem to know they have it. Okay, so Chris, are there any allergens in the supplements? Soy, corn, barley, wheat, gluten, or sunflower? That's such a great question, Chris. No, there are not. All of my supplements are free of all of the top allergens. There are a couple of supplements on my website, not in this program, but on my website that have soy as a derivative to get it in there, and one that has a derivative of dairy. So out of, let's say I have 50 supplements on my store, I have maybe 2 or 3 things. They're clearly labeled on my store, but everything else is always free of all of those top allergens that you just mentioned. Chris, Julie, how do I know if the Candida is gone? Another great question. So of course, if you're somebody who's tested, you can test before and test after. You can use your symptom tracker to track. That's how most people do. And people usually know from the fact that their rash was there, their rash is gone. Their brain fog was there, their brain fog is gone. Their bloating was there, their bloating is gone. So most people use their symptoms and the symptom tracker, which is why we include that in the program, as helping them know that their Candida is then gone. Annette and Helen want to know, how do I get supplements if I live overseas? We ship worldwide. So you will get the program material through email, and your supplements can be shipped worldwide. Now, what I would tell you is some people wait until the very last minute. And because, prep week starts and you don't need your supplements right away, but certainly if you live overseas, I would not wait till the final hour if you are thinking of joining the challenge, because, depending on what country you live in, they can just take a little extra time. So please, if you're overseas, it's not the end of the world. We do have people that wait till the last minute every time, and then, they just don't have their supplements on day one. We've changed things up again so that we have a whole week of prep week, so you don't need your supplements, and we're just doing the diet. So that should help solve part of that. But if you're international, I really would not wait till midnight on the 21st to decide that you want to join the challenge. Nothing changing about it, guys. I don't know why people always wait till the last minute to join something. You get the same great challenge now if you decide to join now. In fact, you get more bonuses now than if you wait till the last minute. And you guarantee that your supplements will arrive on time. Claudia, can we eat dried fruits? We recommend only fresh fruits, and we limit the amount of fresh fruit and carbs. Janine or Jean, I have Candida type 2 diabetes and was diagnosed with estrogen positive breast cancer. I'm going through chemo. Is the program with the supplements safe to go through now? So Jean, I can't speak to any personal, medical conditions. You would really need to speak to your doctor. Now, just kind of in generalities, first of all, Jean, on a totally different topic, I watched this, it was on, if you are a Prime member of Amazon, I watched this this documentary on fasting on Amazon. It's literally called Fasting or something like that. And there were all these studies done of people going through chemo. Well, actually the studies are on rats, but then they've started to do some on people fasting prior to going to chemo. Please let me digress here, everybody, because I feel like this is very important if there's anybody out there who is also dealing with cancer. And I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this right now. But the studies showed people fasting before, it was the rats, but rats fasting before chemo lived, when the rats who didn't fast before the super high dose of chemo, they all died. And the theory was when you fast for several days prior to chemo, your cells go into a protective mode, and only the bad cells get killed by the chemo, and the healthy cells were in a hibernation or protective mode. So I highly recommend that you listen to that. I don't know anything about this, but certainly piqued my interest. And if I was going through chemo right now, would very much be investigating fasting prior to my chemo treatments. But I am not offering any medical advice to you because I can't do that. So back to your question, I don't know of anything that would be, like sometimes we don't want people to do a lot of detox stuff when they're doing chemo because we don't want them to detox out the chemo. There's not anything here that would be doing that, like glutathione is not included here, so that would be okay. But it's just whether your body can really handle the die off of the Candida and whatnot while you're going through the chemo. That's really what I would be thinking about. And please do check out that fasting documentary. Okay, Linda would like to know, how's the 30-day guarantee work? Just give us a call within 30 days and we'll give you instructions of how to process your return and your refund if you are unhappy for any reason. Shannon, the 3 steps, are they started at the same time or spaced out with time in between? That's a great question, Shannon. We do all the steps at the same time. Well, when we're doing the challenge together, and this is a bit more of just logistics, we start the diet first, and that's really so all those latecomers have time to get all their supplements. But for the most part, we do all 3 at the same time. So Dolly, okay, Dolly, I want to sign up, but I have to wait until my husband gets home 6 hours from now to get his approval first. Will it be too late? No. So you have until tomorrow night at midnight to get the bonus of the guided meditation when you sign up. And of course, you have until Sunday, January 21st at midnight to enroll. So you have plenty of time to talk to your husband about this. So I think that's so sweet that you're chatting with him. So Anonymous is asking, is the program completely gluten and dairy free? Absolutely. So those of you who are new to me, please know that I think that gluten and dairy are the root of most all evil. I'm sort of kidding, but they are huge, huge inflammatory foods. So you will never see gluten or dairy in anything that I do. In fact, many of the things that I do are completely grain-free, even gluten-free grains as well, and legume-free. So, all right. So any more questions, guys? Let's see if we've had anybody else join us. My team is still writing down questions. So I don't know where I left off. I think maybe it's Jana, Marlene, Alicia, Evelyn, Arja, Kathy, Francis, Swallow, Danielle, Anita, Heather, Andrea, and Eva have also joined us. Welcome, everybody. All right, guys, are there any men out there listening? We do need to have a few men in this group. Come on. We can't be all us ladies. We need a few men to offer us the, other side of the coin to let us know how things go. But I am so thrilled with all of you for taking back your health. Thank you so much. Lisa saying, P.S., love your book. Thank you so much. Dolly wants to know, how often do we do the lives on the Facebook? There are 4 different ones. We'll give you the schedule ahead of time. Marie would like to know, she's asked twice, if she's allergic to coconut. That's another great question, and we should probably put those in the frequently asked questions team. That is a great question. So coconut, when people are allergic to coconut, they're typically allergic to the, coconut, to the proteins in the coconut. And that is typically not what is being used in the coconut charcoal. Now, it does, so that is typically, I cannot speak to you and what your allergy is, but that is not typically feedback that we get from people. It's also with the caprylic acid, it being derived from coconuts, it's the acids in the coconut that is in the caprylic acid, not the proteins. So those are very different things, and often means that people with coconut allergies have no problem, with these supplements. Emily says she's joining the challenge with the upgrade. Yay, yay. Okay, Danny's saying that his nutritionist gave him a probiotic and some other things, and he broke out in a bad rash. Do I agree that and she said it could be toxins or yeast working itself out. Danny, sometimes when you start a new probiotic, it's that rainforest, you're bringing the good guys in and you're killing off the bad guys, and you can have some detox and some rashes and things like that. Could also be an allergy to either what she gave you or something in what she gave you. But it isn't, unheard of that could be the readjusting of yeast or something like that as well. Kim, can this program be done without Facebook? Absolutely, this program can be done without Facebook. Just know that I do the Facebook Lives in Facebook. Now, we often will have people who don't do Facebook, but they just sign up for an account and don't, befriend anybody, and then they're just there and have the account so they can be part of the Facebook Lives. If you don't want to do that, you can submit your question ahead of time by email. My team will tell you how to do that, and then we email out the videos in the transcript. So no, you do not need to have Facebook to be part of the this program, and that's another great question that might be good for frequently asked questions. So Marlene says, there's stevia in your protein powder. I don't do stevia. There is a little bit of stevia in the vanilla protein powder. We also have the exact same protein powder that is formulated with, that is just plain protein powder. Now, since we have decided to put the Candida challenge and the program and all the contents in one box, we haven't really worked out if we're going to be able to substitute out the protein powder or something like that. I really got to talk to my team. We just decided to go with the vanilla and thought that would be the easiest. If we get a lot of feedback that that's a problem, maybe we'll be able to get to a place where you can sort of customize your package or not, or pick a package. But this is the first time us doing it all in one box, and we just really wanted to see just how that went in general and what the feedback was. We love it. It looks beautiful. I'll be doing a Facebook Live and showing it off soon. So who knows what will be coming down. So Marilyn wants to know, does the Candifence kill beneficial colon bacteria? No, as I mentioned, the Candifence and the caprylic acid are very specific to yeast. They break down the yeast cell wall, and they do not touch your good bacteria. Okay, let me just see if there are any more questions that have been written down for me. Okay, Anonymous, do people get die-off during the program, and how do you handle that? That's an awesome question. So some people, and I didn't really get into that in the program, but die-off is when that, the yeast is getting killed. It can give off both some of that acetaldehyde, which can be irritating and cause problems for people, and then also just the yeast dying off. So some people experience it, some people don't. We have a whole way to deal with that if you do experience it. And that's why we ease into it with the diet for 1 week first, and why we've included the coconut charcoal to help with die off. And we have videos and we have guides and tips of ways to minimize it, prevent it, and then what to do if you do get it. And of course, we'll be there during the challenge, hand in hand with you, so you can, ask us if you're having any questions. So I think that that's it on the questions. So again, just wanted to say thanks to everybody. Looks like we have Courtney, Elaine, Christina, Beth, Melissa, Sue, Elvani, Anya, Catherine, and that's it so far who have joined. We have over 70 people who have already signed up for the challenge. So I want to congratulate you all, the 70 who have committed for taking back your health. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming weeks. I look forward to going through the challenge with you. And for those of you who are still thinking about joining the program, take your time. If you still want the bonus gift with Dr. Jim Gordon, you can still get that if you commit to the challenge between now and tomorrow night, the 12th at midnight Central Standard Time. And of course, you have until the 21st to join the challenge. And then we'll be starting off bright and early on the 22nd all together as a team going through the challenge. Again, thank you so much for spending the last hour and a half with me. I really appreciate your time, your commitment to your health. And please, if you know anybody suffering from Candida, any of the symptoms that we went over today, please share this valuable information with them. Y'all take care. Have a great day. Bye.